Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. How y'all doing? Welcome to me and Benjo's weekly tarot card reading. Gonna do the card tarot this week. Even though you may have seen on my Instagram, I got a tarot card deck. You would not believe it. Um, what day was it? It was one day this past week. My mom left a 20 on the kitchen counter for me. I said, "Oh my god, I cannot believe this." And then last week, I guess I went over to my sister Kimmy's on Thursday. She said, "Michelle, I'm gonna leave you 20." Since you're always cleaning and stuff. So I had $40, and you know what I did? I went and I bought myself a tarot card deck and this ring. You can't really, it's kind of hard to tell. It's like a peach, sometimes red, sometimes gray. Um, Ring, not to be confused with my other, what is it, like opalite or something like that. um, I wasn't gonna get this color. It's like a like I said, it's kind of hard to tell, but I kind of liked how I don't know, earthy it is. um, at that the rings at that the place where I got my tarot card deck and ring, it's called Breathe. The ring set, it usually has all these stones available, and for, I would say, like 90% of the store where there's like crystals or stones or whatever, they have like labels of what they are and all that. Even like the sage sticks and stuff, they get really fancy with them. But anyway, the ring section though, um, they don't have it. It's just this little area with different kind of rings. There's like I wanted to get I thought it was like a Dalmatian jasper if I had to guess. It was white with like speckles of like gray and black. There was a shiny black ring. There was I broke my lavender ring. I don't know, I was just outside and I guess I can't remember, I like hit the pole or something and it just like broke. Um, but so I was like, oh, I need to replace it. But that one was the lavender quartz, I think. Um, what else did they have? Yeah, they had a certain several ones, and this kind of like red orange, like the storm. Is it Jupiter? The planet Jupiter that has like the storm with a like red spot. Anyway, it kind of reminds me of Jupiter, I think is what I'm saying. Yeah, Saturn's the one with the ring, and Jupiter's the one with the very famous storm. Anyway, so if you happen to know what maybe I could possibly gemstone crystal I could be talking about, feel free to let us know. But as far as the Dragon Tarot, I'm very super excited about it. It is for experienced tarot card readers. I'm still learning about it and getting familiar and practicing. Um, the descriptions are such where a lot is left to the tarot card reader. It's in, I don't know, it's a very interesting deck. Like I said, I think it is definitely geared towards the more experienced tarot card reader. Um, and yeah, with that being said, I really like the graphics, if that's what you can call the art to all the dragons and stuff. I think it's so cool. Um, and it being a dragon tarot deck, I think is different from the other tarot decks I have. I have the cat, the crow, and the dog tarot decks, and I think the dragon, as far as like parallels between the two of, like what the two of swords mean for the crow tarot, cat and dog tarot, is different with the dragon tarot. So I think Not only is it for experienced tarot card readers, I think it's also geared towards the essence of a dragon, which is very different and something I'm going to have to practice. But until then, here's the Crow Tarot. I got my sketchbook, which, I don't need another one soon, but I probably should get one. But anyway, I was just super surprised about I had $40. So when I got that Dragon Tarot in my ring, and I have $8 left, in case you're wondering. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with that. Probably just like get some 7-Eleven coffee or something. Anyway, happy Sunday. Happy summer, if it happens to be summer where you are. Yeah. Same old over here. Not much new to report. Yeah, so I guess go ahead and get started, because I was supposed to be taking care of Gypsy, but I guess my tarot card reading process is taking a little bit longer than expected. So let's go ahead and get this going, so I can go take care of Gypsy. Yay. I just realized on my makeup reel I wanted to talk about my eyebrows, and I didn't. So I guess I'll just talk about them right now. Via my Instagram reel, which I should have posted on there but didn't. I was sidetracked. My eyebrows, I just basically I went above my natural brow. Is what you're looking at, what you see right now, the makeup look. And yeah, I just did a very light, fine pencil, extended the corner, tear duct, and then just went above my natural brow to kind of blend. So I should have put that in my Instagram reel. I'm upset now. Anyway, yeah, Tarot Card Puppy Bench is over here. He's been he has very busy mornings, walking about my room and stuff like that. He just had his treat, and now finally I think he's able to take his morning nap. He's laying on the blanket. Anyway, so yeah, with that being said, I probably should have put my nail polish, but it's just like one that's Insta Dry. I can't remember which brand. Blue. Electric blue. I saw that at the grocery store. I'm also have to have it, because I usually don't get a lot of nail polishes. A lot of the nail polishes that we have in this household are like either like my mom or my sister Tracy, but she's been getting her nails done at the salon. Not fake nails, but just like shellac. But anyway, most of the nail polish that we have in this household is just like pinks and reds and stuff. The glitter is always my choice. Nobody else chooses the glitter. So there may be a couple of glitter nail polishes in there too. Anyway. Crow Tarot, I'm thinking maybe the horseshoe. What do y'all think? I like to do the horseshoe because I usually just do the 5-card spread on for my own personal tarot. So it's nice to kind of change it up a bit. We could do the Crow Tarot spread. Let's do the Crow Tarot spread. Why not? Right? And as far as all my little stones over here, I've got this like sorbet green, this other kind of green. It's not malachite. And this kind of like gray tiger's eye, but it's not a tiger's eye. And then a shell that I got from, I think, Yanaguana Trail, which is actually found adjacent to a mission in San Antonio, Texas. I can't remember which one. It's the one that the one building is like long and white, like a horizontal white building. A lot of the missions, they're not like that. They're different. But the one with the Yanaguana Trail adjacent, attached to it, is the one that's like a long rectangle white building, and then it has like a little a little fancy kind of decoration, a little archway or bell or something like that. And I think it's also the one where you literally go like down the street, like less than a 5-minute drive, and there's another mission there too. But anyway, I got that shell from the little stream over there. I think it's the San Antonio River, but I could be mistaken. Anyway. Alright, I think we're going to go ahead and do the Crow Tarot. I feel like I've been going a mile a minute, but I'm in peace and quiet for the most part here in the neighborhood, which is easy to get used to. I'll say that much. But yeah, there's been an unusual quietness to the neighborhood this past week, especially this last couple days. So I've been really excited about that, and yeah, I can't even count it to how many cups of coffee I've had, because I think I've only had like less than one. I mean, a big cup, but less than a big cup. You know, usually I have that like really big one, and it's like my second cup. Anyway, I guess we'll cut them thin to win. I have a lot of, I guess, a fire and air energy going on, because my earth and water energy feel really balanced, I think. All right. We can go ahead and do the Crow Tarot. This card always falls down, doesn't it? Okay, I'll flip one over for Gypsy, but it can be for whatever kind of pet, a little animal. Maybe it's just like a squirrel outside or something. Let's see what they get. The 3 Cups, this is great. Celebration. Okay, you ready to record movie video? He's sleeping. Alright. So, let's see our heart energy. This is what, a 9-card spread? This is a 4, 5, 6, and 7. 5, 6, and 8-card spread. Anyway. Well, this is just fantastic. Our heart energy, in this case, I would say, is our permanent heart energy, not our temporary kind of maybe obstacle we have going on this week. This week for our Crow Tarot heart energy is the Fool, which is kind of a misleading name, but maybe can be a bit of a term of endearment. Like Biggie Smalls or something like that. The Fool is embarking on a journey, and probably referred to as the Fool because filled to the brim with faith and optimism, trusting the universe and very comfortable with this little crow self, your little crow self, and ready to embark on what the life or this next adventure has to offer, which is today in our heart energy. So that's really great. Things seem to be very happy with the heart energy, so again, that's good. The Fool is the first major arcana deck card, and therefore an air element. But yeah, just really nice. You get this navy. I don't think we see this navy a lot in this tarot deck. So it's nice to see with the Fool and with these little lotus flowers there. Okay, so let's see what our present and platform for the future is. The reversed Eight of Swords. Very interesting. A lot of binding going on. Let me look at the reverse definition. I like this card, but for some reason I'm getting like a bit of a hesitation with it today. I don't know. Let's see. Okay, so today I would say this reversed Eight of Swords here kind of has a bit of a feminine type of energy. In other words, a little bit more lunar type of energy, vibes going on, shadow self. This Eight of Swords looks very different, right, than this Fool card. The sword is the air element also. This week I'm getting the kind of feeling that maybe this this Eight of Swords is maybe not as great as I usually take this card. The upright, I usually take this card upright really well. I really like this card. If you've been following my tarot card readings, you might remember. And the creator of this deck has this reversed. This is actually kind of a negative kind of meaning. And reversed means the opposite. Hardships are ending, kind of like a reversed Wheel of Fortune card. But as your tarot card reader, I usually take this card very positively. I'm a Gemini, an air element, and so this kind of I usually see this as a safety and security. The swords here, the swords are with this crow and not somewhere else. This I guess intellectual property is maybe what I'm getting at. But today, this card reverse just looks really different to me than this Fool card. I would say there's some sort of lurking kind of energy going on. That's a bit malicious, a bit manipulative. Instead of the, I think today, so far for a tarot card spread, I would say this reverse Eight of Swords might parallel the reversed Strength card of the Major Arcana deck, which usually the Strength card represents power, strength, and all of that. The reversed Strength card represents emotional manipulation and stuff like that. So here I would say there's a bit of intellectual manipulation going on. So instead of maybe playing on emotions, which can be very volatile, especially perceptually, I think maybe what's going on is a little bit more in the shadows, a little bit more hidden. This kind of deceiving of the thoughts and I guess maybe facts and logic, reasoning. It might be going on here. I would say if we did the horseshoe spread, this might be in the hidden influence spot. Um, but yeah, unfortunately today I'm seeing this reverse Eight of Swords as not so positive, especially considering this Fool card here. So let's see our advice, or maybe something holding us back. The Reverse Judgment, a very big card, a major arcana deck. I'm gonna have to, I think it's a fire element, but I'll double check because I'm not too confident with my knowledge about that. But anyway, upright, this Judgment card is very positive. It's about growth and learning lessons and going beyond and transforming into your higher self. Um, Emotionally, spiritually, maybe not like with your career. That's might not be so important, but maybe it is. Um, but yeah, this is basically like a key word for this card is reincarnation, which you know, it can just be like symbolic, right? So the reversed is the opposite. The reversed is maybe there should be some examinations of any sort of habits, thought patterns that could be holding us back. Which I think is very interesting. Reincarnation is about cycles too, the cycle of life and all that. And if you have anything more to add about reincarnation, feel free to do so if you want. If not, that's okay. But yeah, the reverse judgment card is not so positive. Kind of a bit of a warning, I would say. Yeah, it's a fire element. Maybe you're not in control of your decisions. Maybe you've given up power. May also point to a time when you're being overly judgmental. So I would say this is probably something holding us back. As far as our heart energy being the Fool card, I feel 100% comfortable in saying that these two cards here are probably separate from us. This is a situation or a person that we are, for some reason, are having to deal with. And it's very interesting. The Fool is the first card in the Major Arcana deck, and the Judgment card is the second to last card of the Major Arcana deck. So we got like the ends of the spectrum there. I think it's very interesting. So yes, right now around our heart energy, we got, I think, a bit of emotional manipulation, maybe a bit of appealing to the, for lack of a better word, crazier side of maybe not you or us specifically as an individual, but maybe just as human nature in general. But maybe appealing to the crazier side and in an air element type of way, which I think is good. If you were to, if there were to be an entity that were here to appeal to the crazier side of the human nature in a water or emotional way, I would say that like again, it would be very volatile, very tiring. Um, so the fact that it's an air element here, I think, is a good sign. Things could have been worse, right? As far as our present situation is going. But as far as maybe outcome or constant, is this inability to transgress, proceed forward um, uh, in life, in the sense that somebody is stuck in a rut, and they can't get out of it, even though it seems that they would have all the resources that they would need in order to do so, which leads one to believe that this is a choice, a preference, um, for whoever is, whatever the situation or entity is around us, happens to be our present going on. Which for us, as far as choice, again, it's the Fool card. I would imagine there would be a lot of misunderstandings going on. And I don't mean that in like a project task oriented way. I just mean that in a not understanding of the personality type of way. A lot of clashing going on. Just kind of like I would rather not be around this person or situation. So yeah, let's see what our hopes and fears are. Okay, I would say these are the hopes. Finally, we get this Five of Wands upright. This Five of Wands is really positive and pleasant. And today is the head of our crow. These Five of Wands, each crow is in flight, practicing their fighting skills. It being the wand and fire element, it could encompass a lot. Career, emotions, intellect, debate, culture, philosophies, which is what each wand represents, being a different color. And in doing so, each crow becomes better. Not one crow is not learning something. All these crows are getting together and benefiting from this kind of exchange of philosophies, cultures, backgrounds, ways and modes of thought. So yeah. Very positive, and I really like the look of this spread, especially with this reversed Eight of Swords we have here today. Kind of being a card of a bit of oppression. Just for today, just because the feeling I get, and I just think it looks so different from the Fool card. So I'm really happy that as far as like thought and the head of the crow, we have this Five of Wands here for our hopes. It might be the fears of this Judgment and a reverse Eight of Swords today. So let's see what our grounding energy is. The Nine of Swords. This is very interesting, especially considering we just got the Five of Wands. This Nine of Swords, I think, is the first to take note is obviously the moon, the lunar self. There's this lunacy, right? Going on. They say like people get crazy around the full moon, and stuff like that. And as far as like your lunar self, maybe the I'm sure there could be a lot of philosophical arguments of what exactly that could mean. But I think the more true and balanced you can find your solar self, the sun masculine side of things, then the all the more healthier and I hate to say manageable, but I think in describing like the lunar and shadow selves might not be the worst way to describe. A little bit more manageable, a little bit more reasonable, and average and healthy your lunar self can be if you're um, absolutely in contradiction with your solar self, the masculine side, the side that you bring to the community and society, and when you leave your home or wherever you happen to reside and interact with the world every day, the more you are in conflict of that, the bigger the burden I think your your lunar self has to deal with. Um, and your lunar self is very much like your physiology, your um, human nature, I guess you can say. Um, I think this card is very positive. If there's anything going on with this present card and this holding us back card, I think we have a really great grounding energy to combat, confront whatever that situation or entity may be. Um, so we have the, of course, the moon, and then we have these line of swords, and they're all organized, right? Um, Usually, you would think maybe when you're talking about your lunar self or your shadow self, you might see swords that are a bit more like not organized or stuff like that. Um, but here, I think it's very positive. We see this the moon and all these swords are kind of like lined up. Um, this card is can signify fear. Um, but I really like this card. And if we were to get pages in our tarot in our reading, I would say this would be very positive. But we haven't gotten any pages yet. But we have this reverse judgment card, which is a really big deal. Responsibility and consequences are very apparent and shown, and not brushed under the rug for whatever reason. Uh, but like I said, this card is about fear. But um, if you have dealt with fear, if you experience is definitely, I think, inherent in this upright Nine of Swords. So our grounding energy is very wise and very stable, and very having the ability to be still, and also having the ability to this fight or flight, I think, is mastered here with this Nine of Swords. So whatever the reaction may be, fight or flight, this Nine of Swords, I think in freeze is one of them too, right? This Nine of Swords is very experienced and therefore could be considered expert, professional, um, with all of that. So I'm really liking this center line we have here. We have the Fool, we have the Five of Wands, and the Nine of Swords upright, which is really great. We have a very strong center line. Um, so with that said, let's see what our past is. The High Priestess, obviously, right? The High Priestess is mystery, hard work, um, uh, reading the signs around you, which could just be your environment, yourself, and all of that. The High Priestess is feminine energy here. So, as far as this kind of manipulative kind of energy we got going on with this today, with this reversed Eight of Swords and this reverse Judgment card, we're very grounded, and we have a really strong past, like really strong. Um, the High Priestess is a water element, and you can see she has the little crescent moon there with her. Um, and her, I guess the eye of the crow, a lot of the times the crows, they don't, this is a very detailed eye for this crow, this High Priestess here. So I guess in our past we have an eye for detail, which could just be like our not necessarily like our sight, but like I guess our inner eye, our inner side, third eye, I guess. Um, so yeah, I think we probably have a very positive past, which would probably have a lot to do with our strong center line today. I would assume. Um, so yeah, the High Priestess is a water element. It goes the Fool and the Magician, both air elements, and then the High Priestess is next, and she's a water element. So yeah, really not much more to expand on that. Just a very positive past, appreciating the mysteries of life, and stuff like that. And yeah, let's see what our outside influence is. The Four of Swords. This is just great. The Four of Swords, again, another air element. We have this crow, uh, very relaxed and at a peaceful, meditative state. As you can tell, because he's lying on his back with his feet up. Or she, doesn't matter. I think maybe this sword maybe can represent this crow, and maybe these other swords can represent maybe other crows. I don't know. A lot of stuff going on. The ability to focus on certain things, and keep organized. Other stuff too. Yeah, a very relaxed and tranquil and meditative state, not unlike the Hanged Man in the Major Arcana deck. But yeah, the Four of Swords upright is very peaceful, finding a place where sometimes when you get like upset, like what I was saying about with the emotions, it could be volatile. If there's any sort of like messing around with it, the emotions. This Four of Swords is our external openings or uninvited energy of a very calm and peaceful mindset. Maybe despite what's going on in our situation with certain people. I don't know. So I guess I'll go ahead and reveal the outcome in future in part 2. So I'll see y'all in part 2. Okay?